This is what you might imagine wilderness life to be. But real wilderness life is actually like this. If you want to see the sun tomorrow, you have to stay vigilant at night. Not to mention, the shelter needs to be full of traps and defenses. Otherwise, these looming wolf packs might attack you at any time. Disheartened by 5 rejections, the villager decided to clear his mind in the wilderness. He immediately chose a hillock to settle down. He quickly began digging. Thanks to the soft soil, his digging work wasn't too difficult. He valued the location for its natural defenses formed by mountains on 3 sides. With 3 decades of surgical experience, he quickly excavated a cave from the mountainside. It's just that the cleanup work was somewhat tedious and laborious. After digging the right size, he started planning where to place the bed. He effortlessly dug out a clay bed, and after finishing, he couldn't wait to try it out. It perfectly accommodated his burly frame. Even though the depths of winter have passed, the forest's night temperature still drops below 0, so he had to construct a warm fireplace for the shelter. First, he carved a hole into the wall, then went above the shelter to break through above the hole, creating a natural chimney. He immediately lit some dry wood. The smoke extraction worked flawlessly. At this point, he also carved 2 Y-shaped branches, placing them above the smoke vent, planning to boil himself a pot of hot water. While boiling water, he took the chance to collect some dry grass nearby to spread on the clay bed. This not only improves comfort, but also effectively prevents moisture. He tested the results. It feels quite comfortable. Due to the massive energy expenditure from the initial digging, to smoothly continue with the remaining construction, he took out a bucket of instant noodles to replenish some energy. Although it's just a bowl of factory-made noodles, one can't be too choosy in the wilderness. Seeing him enjoying the noodles made the editor somewhat jealous. The aroma of the noodles even attracted an interested spectator from one of the wild creatures. Of course, the leftover noodle cup in the wilderness should not be wasted. After a short rest, he carved some sticks and put them at the smoke vent, planning to add a chimney to the smoke vent. This would effectively prevent rainwater from entering inside. After binding the chimney structure, he fetched some loess. As there are no water sources nearby, he had to use the bottled water he carried with him. After a complex kneading process, homemade robust concrete was ready. Then, he plastered the concrete mixture onto the chimney framework. Looking at the outcome, I thought I was seeing things. Do you think it looks like it too? Because there are many wild animals around here. Sang Biao had to build some additional defensive structure. First, he dug out a rough outline, then created a makeshift compass using sticks and rope. He then drew a semicircular arc at the entrance, followed by digging a trench along the arc and filling it with licorice and dry branches. This way, in case of a beast herd siege, lighting it up could form a firewall. To ensure absolute safety, he also implanted some sharpened sticks around. With this, even facing an army of 100,000 wild beasts, he would still have a fighting chance. Using the sticks Sang Biao brought, he laid them in sequence on the earth bed, thus creating a comfortable single bed. After completing these, next up was the construction of the main door. He found 2 flexible sticks and secured them properly with hemp rope, thus the door frame was made. Then he crafted the door grid with 2 more sticks. For the filling part of the door, he collected some reed poles from nearby. Similarly, he tied them with hemp rope, fixed them onto the door frame, and sawed off the excess parts. A sturdy-looking but not so useful door was set up. At least it could protect against wind and rain. After completing the shelter, he planned to treat himself to something tasty, as a bowl of instant noodles wasn't enough to fill the void of a failed matchmaking attempt. He then drilled holes in a wooden board. He placed some dry straw in it, lit it up, then added dry firewood. Do not think Sang Biao was so hungry he'd eat the table. He simply wanted to create a natural charcoal grilling platform. Under the fierce operation of the manual bellows, the table ignited into a roaring fire. Before long, the wooden table was completely charred. Now, just heat up some oil in a pan and put in the long-treasured steak. As the Maillard reaction occurs, just sprinkle some simple seasonings and a tender juicy steak is ready. From this aroma, it almost bursts through the screen. For the lean Sang Biao, he also needs some staple food to satisfy his small stomach. He cooked 2 pieces of flatbread. For him, dealing with heartbreak, this is surely the best comfort. To be ready to fight any dangers in the wild, Sang Biao also made a torch from a stick. After a hearty meal, he poured himself another cup of fruit tea, truly turning wilderness living into poetry. He thought he could rest peacefully tonight, but unexpectedly, the roar of wild animals echoed nearby. He hurriedly ignited the defensive measures of the shelter. With the help of these flames, he should be able to safely make it through the night. Hoping tomorrow we shall see Sang Biao again.